Hi, I'm Kendra Corman. If you're a coach, consultant, or marketer, you know marketing is far from a perfect science. And that's why this show is called Imperfect Marketing. Join me and my guests as we explore how to grow your business with marketing tips and, of course, lessons learned along the way. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Imperfect Marketing. I'm your host, Kendra Corman, and today I am joined by Laurent, who is going to be talking with us about one of my favorite topics, which is AI. And he has a very unique take on it, especially when it comes to voice AI, which is what he does, right? Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'd love for you to tell me a little bit about how did you get here? How did you get where you're at right now?
First of all, thank you, Kendra. Thank you for having me, and thank you for everyone's listening to this wonderful podcast. I'm here because I believe, as everyone else, for the past 30 months, we've all been amazed by AI and everything that it can do. And first of all, to anyone that's still thinking about deep diving into AI, I would say the rule of thumb, everyone needs to do, is just be a child. You need to be amazed. You cannot just watch this generated video or audios or interactions or responding and think that it's there and it's nothing else than what the web was. It's 10 times, 100 times what the web was. And I can say that because I've been working for over 23 years in different ventures regarding web, e-commerce, and different all kind of aspect, SEO, SEM, web marketing. And I can say that we're living a wonderful time. I'm not young anymore, but the reason I'm mentioning that is that 6 months back, I would have never dreamt of working as hard and learning as much as I'm learning every day out of passion and out of discovery. And this is solely because of AI.
It is so interesting. It is just, I am amazed every day. It's funny. So when I was driving to the office today to record this, I was actually thinking about, I'm like, I don't even want to look at some of my old chats and the results that I got out of it, with ChatGPT or even Claude from way back in the beginning. It is unbelievable how far it has come and how quickly I've changed what I give it, right? How it's changed what it gives me. And there's just so much out there, right? And you're dealing in the world of voice AI, right? Which is a whole nother level beyond just the writing piece, right?
I would say it. And I also like to put everything into perspective, Kendra, because we have to think about AI, I think, as a small player trying to do something that we have those big, huge companies that are creating at a pace that has never seen before. So, and that's what I was really trying to tell everyone that I cross by, is that if you work into AI today, you will need to learn and understand what AI is. But at a certain point in time, when you build a company around AI, you realize that you are not building AI. You are using AI as a tool. You are using everything it provides. But very, very quickly along the way, you will understand that there's all of the sets of priorities that get involved, and that much more related to what business has been forever. So this is, you wake up in the morning and you say, voice AI is fantastic. I'm going to do voice AI. And you start prompting. And you understand that at a certain point in time, prompting is not enough. You need to have data. You need to understand who your customers are. And all those things have been in business for the past 100 years. So nothing changed actually.
I love that. Because yes, I tell that to people all the time. I'm like, you need to understand your customer first. You need to talk to your customer, right? You really need to understand who they are, because no matter if it's AI or if it's you or it's an agency building content or building anything for you, if it's not thinking of the customer and putting them first and their needs and their questions, then it's no good at all.
This is why I deeply think that AI will not replace us. AI will enhance us. for sure. We sometimes feel like superhumans because we're achieving things at a pace and in a kind of quality that is unheard of. But it would not place us. Um, Take, for instance, the project we're building right now. From a voice AI perspective and working into prompting, at a certain point in time, we decided, okay, what's our mission? How are we bringing to the table? Are we bringing a fancy voice? Are we bringing a small latency voice? Well, everybody's and their grandmother are building voice AI today and trying to be the fanciest. But at the end of the day, we understood, and it took us 5 months to understood that we're building trust. Basically, take what a small business or local business has been doing for the past 50 years. They've been engaging with their customers. They've been having appointments, cancel appointments, the ability to respond quickly over the phones. And those things, if someone decides to use a voice AI, they need to be certain, 100% certain that the voice AI will convey this trust. So our mission is to build trust. And now that you have that in mind, you understand that the prompt will not create trust. There are so many more levels that we create that trust. And when you think about it, you understand that you're surrounded with LLMs and agents that are helping you. But at the end of the day, that's understanding your customers, who they are, what they need, and building the trust for you to them so that they let their customers using your solution. This is a whole ecosystem and very interesting.
That trust piece is so important. I think that that's one of the biggest issues right now facing a lot of people leveraging AI, right? Or leveraging it the wrong way, I'll say, right? You talked about data. It's more than just prompting, right? You're giving it information so that you can get the right outputs. You talked a little bit about voice AI. For those of us in the audience, right, that are not necessarily well versed in what voice AI is. Why don't you describe that to me? Like, what would you say a product of voice AI is?
The first layer, obviously, is AI agent that can communicate with you through voice. But I would add, as today and the way it's going is not only communicating with you, but adding emotions. As today, you have to understand, Kendra, that AI voice agents can perceive emotion through the phone. Let's put a very simple example. A customer is upset. He's not satisfied with the service and he's calling and you're not responding. The voice AI can decide to put the pressure down, be patient, be elegant in order to engage with the customer in the best manner possible, which, let's be fair, us as humans, we don't do all the time. we are subject to emotions, and agents are not subject to emotions. So they convey emotion, but they're not subject to emotions. So this is beautiful, and also that's what I was trying to tell you earlier, Kendra, is that we as startupper, bootstrappers, we're building solutions using voice AI. But at the end of the day, the biggest, longest prompt is certainly not the most efficient way to build a company. So you have to be very lean and you have to trust the big players, such as Google Gemini, ChatGPT, Anthropic. They're building the tools that we are going to use and give a service to businesses. So if anyone is listening today, I would say learn AI, learn to prompt. But as everything, when you go through a learning curve, you understand that the leaner it gets, the most elegant it becomes.
Oh, I love that. So let's talk a little bit about leveraging voice AI in a practical way. So I was actually looking into it not too long ago and thinking about because a friend of mine was asking that an actual receptionist was getting a little bit expensive because she's got, 4 or 5 part-time team members. And so having somebody answer the phones all the time, she was having to set up accounts for all of them at a virtual office. It was just getting cost prohibitive, right? As she was growing and expanding. And I was like, I wonder if AI could do this for her. And so you could technically have an AI receptionist that would respond to voice like you're talking about, right?
First of all, you have the obvious. We're past the age of answering machine and chatbots. Answering machine, well, no need to, to give more explanation, but chatbots do not convey the emotion I was talking to you about. Now, do not understand the emotion. So this is where voice AI comes into play. Now, the first obvious part is when you're not available. What's happening? You are breaking trust again, Kendra. Someone wants to reach you. He needs you. You are not there, and you have probably very good reason not to be there. That's when voice AI come into play. Now you also have all the period in time. Everyone has been going to the hair salon, and during a 45-minute session, the lady has to stop 3 times, getting the phone. 2 of them are outbound call selling something. She get upset, she's getting late and everything. Those are the time that she solely should be focused on serving her customers. Okay. Again, this is when voice AI comes into play. At the end of the day, you take a 24-day of work month, you add the number of minutes you've wasted on useless calls, you sum that up, you probably get, around 300-400 minutes per month that you're literally losing. Now, the calculation is simple, whether your business is, you're making 40, 60, $100 an hour, you can see how it accumulates. And now investing in voice AI make total sense. Knowing that the expansion of voice AI and the possibility you can do is endless. But I always suggest, like any new technology, start with the obvious. When you go see your family, take a break, put on voice AI, spend good time with your family, relax. So next morning you'll be serving your customer in a better way, and you move on, and then you can start, using it during the booking, canceling bookings, even upsells, which you can do beautiful things with it. So it's quite extensive.
Yeah, and I love how you were saying that if you're away from your desk and you don't answer, that you're losing trust. I think that that is something that is so overlooked, and I know I've talked about it on a few different episodes here, but there's a client that I work with that I will not set up Google Ads. They actually went out and hired a new agency to set up Google Ads for them, which I'm fine with, because they weren't answering the phone. Like, they didn't have someone picking up the phone, and so we set up a call recorder for all their Google Ads, and so I got the recordings, and they were all hangups because all they got thrown into was this, like, automated response circle, right? Not a real person. And during business hours, at least, you have to be able to pick up the phone, especially if you're sending someone there from ads. They don't know what number to pick. They don't wanna listen to the 7 minutes that you guys have of all the extensions, right? They just want to go. And I think looking at it as trust is I don't think it's a way that I've looked at it before, and I think that that is just so insightful and so powerful because you're going to lose that business if it's a prospect. Guaranteed if you don't pick up the phone.
Kendra, phone has been a forsaken channel. Let's put it this way: everybody hates phone, right? This is a crazy
Send me an
invention.
email. Send me an email. You wanna
Of
get a hold
course,
of me, send me an email. Don't call
when you
me.
think about it, you are paying for a service. Someone is giving you 10 digits, and from that moment on, anybody in the world can decide to annoy you, at a moment in the day. This is counterintuitive. So yes, everybody has the phone. So what do you do? Well, you used to put on voicemail. You have to after as a chatbot on your computer, and there's also this big resurgence of voice itself. Okay, remember when we were kids, our parents used to tell us, you don't read anymore. You watch too much TV, right? And then the internet came and said, oh, now we all read. We just don't talk anymore and we don't do anything. And then YouTube came, and then, oh, we talk again, and everything. So it's all about a pendulum. Now you have everyday people that pick up their phone and talk with Gemini and ChatGPT. 10 years from now, Elon's going to have robots in a house. And believe me, we're going to talk with them. We're not going to type. So voice is resurging as a channel of communication in a huge way. So there's absolutely no reason that this phone that we ate, but that is everywhere, we all have a phone, should not be into the picture again, but used in a proper way with the right technology.
Yeah, that is so important. And I mean, you've identified that local businesses have been losing business because of missed calls. And so having, a voice AI receptionist, right, answer the calls is huge. But I guess my question for you is, as a small business, how do we set something like that up? Like, again, so that we don't lose trust because so many people are, like, anti-AI. "This was written by a human." It's like, I don't I don't really care if it was written by a human as long as it's good.
Exactly. But you're putting exactly your finger what the problem is, and this is what we've been trying to solve from day one. Again, this is all about data, the quality of the data. So basically, as long as you can provide a plug and play feature, which doesn't mean any knowledge, technological knowledge, not technological or prompting knowledge, that you have the accurate data, that it can be deployed within minutes, you're onto something. It has to be easy. It has to, and again, the idea of trust, the way we did it in our company is we created this huge directory where we have, as today, 1.6 million business listings. And each of those listings have an AI on each page, which is up and running, which is already pre-trained with our data and already serving customers. So basically, any business that's on a directory can access the voice AI without even paying it and just try it. And if you're not listed, you can open the listing within 3 minutes and the AI will be deployed in seconds. So instead of convincing a business to trust us, we did another level where we create the AI, try it, and if you decide that you can trust us, just pay the subscription, and then you can take the code, the widget, and put it on the website, or we give you a virtual line where you can transfer your call at any time. And I would add, because that's very interesting, and I know you're into marketing, Kendra, that we discovered something very, very interesting about 2 months ago. For anyone that's familiar with SEO and Google ranking, we know by now that the retention of a page is crucial to get results, right? So basically, when we deployed for our own sake our directory with all those millions of AI, the first thing that appears is that people, when they come to the page, start interacting with the voice AI, which turn the time spent on our website from seconds to minutes. And of course, Google loves it. And in return, index our page even higher and better. So this is also something that people did not notice, is that if you have a voice AI on your website, you will serve your customers and you will improve your ranking. So this is all wonderful, and it can be quite helpful if you want to have more business.
One of the things that I hear from a lot of people is that they're getting overwhelmed. There are so many different AI tools and AI ways that they can use it, and AI agents that they can create, and they're not 100% trustworthy yet on a lot of the systems to give it access to their systems. So, like, I have not started using Claude's, I think it's Cowork, because I don't want to give it access to everything. It makes me nervous, right? So I guess my question for you is, when people are looking to get started, where do you recommend that they start when it comes to AI? What, either learning or deploying or working with?
First of all, I would tell anyone that is not into it yet to take a break in his life. Just take a leave of absence for a month and possibly 3 months, and just invest $100 to $200 a month. Have a couple of those pros accounts. ChatGPT works well. If you're into coding, Claude obviously is good, but be more expensive. Gemini is wonderful. Then you have also some video generation tool, because it's fun and it's very good for marketing, and just deep dive into it, give it a try. We used to hear people saying, be yourself, right? As far as a human and a business owner or whatever. I think this is not the way to say it. I think know yourself. Know yourself is more important. And in order to know yourself, AI is wonderful. It pushes your limits. It questions you. It makes you go beyond anything you expected. I had to say that with all the LLMs we're working with, we moved from a human to computer relationship. Now we got HR relation. No, we're literally dealing because we are a small company as far as human, but as far as LLMs, we have 35 LLMs continuously working for us. And I mean, it's sometimes, you question yourself on the way you talk with them because you talk with them like human. So yes, I would suggest to your audience, just deep dive into it. Don't be afraid. Expand on any subject, because, you just pull it and you'll end up, at least if it's not about work, knowing a lot more about yourself.
Well, and I love that insight of knowing yourself, right? The more you know, the more you can teach, the more data, the more everything that you can give the system, the more it can challenge you. Like, I don't think people give it enough credit for challenging and asking questions and pushing you to a place where you wouldn't have gotten to on your own. You can disagree with the AI results all day long, but you need to be using it. Yes, it can still reflect who you are, right? It can still be authentic. And if you know yourself and you know your customer and you know your business, it just makes it so much easier to integrate it all together. This is amazing. I love your perspective on AI. I love your perspective on trust and knowing yourself. I think that that is just very differentiated right now and awesome. So I really appreciate that perspective, Laurent. But before I let you go and before we wrap up and tell people where they can get access to your voice I do have to ask you the question that I ask all of my guests. And that is that this show is called Imperfect Marketing because marketing is anything but a perfect science. What has been your biggest marketing lesson learned?
As far as the digital world, I would say working in that field is like sitting at a train station. If you miss a train, do not worry. There's another one coming. Uh, so I hear a lot of people saying, "Oh God, I missed the influencing part of it." The influence. I'm not an influencer yet, or I was not good at SEO. I'm not good at SEM. I say, well, you know what? Just if you miss a train, 2 or 3 months from now, something is coming, and you'll get another chance. So it's never too late, whether it's your age or your energy or your life, what position in life you are. You see you're at the station, ta jump on the next train.
No, I love that. I love that. There's always something new coming. You didn't miss anything. Feel free. Start learning and absorbing and challenge yourself today, right? Just so much there. Now, if people are looking, we'll have a link in the show notes, but is it Get Oblique directory platform where they can search and claim their business?
Yeah, getpublic.com. They just visit the platform. They can create their listing, search their listing. And I would add, Kendra, that if I can be myself of any help to your audience, we have tons of social media on the footer of our listings. They can just a message saying, "Hey, Laurent, I'd love to get your help on that aspect or this aspect." And sharing is believing. So let's do it. Let's
Awesome. Well, great. Thank you so much. We'll be sure to have all of that in the show notes and the video description if you're watching on YouTube. Thank you so much, Laurent, for your time, for your perspective. I know I definitely learned some things from you today, and I love to learn. So I appreciate your time. Again, be sure to connect with him in the show notes. And until next time, have a great rest of your day.